right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone. I'm your brother, Rabbi Knapp, coming out with a lesson. Lord's will, this is edifying to the Lord's elect. Go straight into the news, see what's going on. See what the so-called white man Esau's up to today. Just right into the news. Go right into Google and just see what's in today's news. It says DOJ concludes Epstein files review with release of 3.5 million records. Let's see what this is talking about. It says the Justice Department said Friday it was releasing the final tranche of Epstein files after a lengthy review. The U.S. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche told reporters at a news conference. I thought they were going to stop with the Epstein files. I heard somebody say that. They were going to conclude it. They was going to stop. They were going to stop putting shit out. Clearly, that's not happening. This is in today's news. Why it matters, it says, subscribe. I'm not subscribing to shit. I'm going to read as much as it can give me. This is from Axios.com. Why it matters with the release, Blanche said the DOJ's obligations under the Epstein Files Transparency Act will be completed more than a month after the congressional mandated deadline for the department to vet and release materials related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, Esau Edom. Because you got to think, man, Epstein is he's just one Edomite out of, they're all perverse and weird, and they do this type of shit, man. You got to start questioning how these damn devils get to even live in places of the world where, the way they live, man, their whole lifestyle. I would question every damn Edomite I'm around that has some form of prosperity here. How'd you get that? Oh, I got an inheritance from who did you get that inheritance from? If it's not him, it trickles down to somebody wicked as hell. Somebody in his family. This is the Edomites we're talking about. Let me grab this in the book of Psalms 58 and 3. I'll start at the top. Psalms 58, it says, prayer for the punishment of the wicked. To the chief musician, Altashith, Mechim of David, do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yeah, do you even judge uprightly? You don't, man. You don't judge uprightly. Because if you judged uprightly, you wouldn't have people protesting. You wouldn't have kids being missing. You wouldn't have something called the Jeffrey Epstein files if you were judging uprightly. That would only happen in the so-called white man society, man. Because he don't judge upright. He's not a righteous judge. He don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. So he don't fit being anything righteous in the Bible. But he does fit everything that's wicked, everything that's perverse, everything that's an abomination. That's what lines up with Esau. Psalms 58 and 2, yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Yeah, you weigh your violence of the hands in the earth. Who's doing the most violence in the earth? He'll blame it on a so-called black man. He'll go, Jerome might get killed, right? That's just one person. This nigga goes and bombs whole countries, kills whole nations of people, slaughters the whole land, defiles the whole land. Okay? That's how he acts in the earth. This is what it's saying. Psalm 58 and 2. Yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Your heart, your mind. Okay? The Hebrew word for heart is lab, and it means your mind. He works wickedness. He don't think of doing things uprightly. Even when he does business, it has to be wicked. He doesn't, if we do business together, right? And I sell you something or you give me something, it's a fair exchange. It'll be 50-50. I benefit, right? And you benefit. It's an equal exchange. No, there's no robbery there. But him, the best he could do for you is 51-49. He has to rob you. The thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy. That's the only way he can do business. You got to have and if he does do something good for you, he does it unwillingly. Just like Duck got the Trump account right now. You could put $1,000 for your kids, and he said it by 20, by he's 18 years old, he should have over $300,000. Then you heard the Democrats speak on that and say it was he's trying to take away your Social Security. So here it is, you clapping because you're getting $1,000, you're getting an extra account, you can put an extra $1,000 in there. But on the back end, he's stealing your Social Security. So go ahead, have fun with that. Psalms 58 and 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And we see that a lot. They're estranged from the womb. Okay, Okay, meaning as soon as they be born, they're estranged. They're not. Let's look at the word estranged. Let's look at that word in Psalms 58:3. This describes the so-called white man to a T. It's 2 degrees out here, so I don't know, for some reason my phone be acting up in the cold, man. These phones suck. Psalms 58, I can't get it. Psalms 58, but I believe estranged means you're like unnatural. You're not doing what a normal person would do. You're outside of what people would receive as someone to do in that situation. You want to do what most people would do in a normal situation. He's estranged. Let me see if I'll try one more time because I don't want to. It's just loading. Maybe if I just Google the word estranged, let me try that. Maybe that'll work. Define estranged. It says of a person no longer close or affectionate to someone, alienated. Estranged means to be alienated, separated, or no longer friendly with someone you were once close to, like a family member or a spouse, often due to a serious conflict or breakdown in the relationship, leading to a lack of affection and communication. And that's right. He got that perpetual hatred for the nation of Israel. Okay, and pretty much for himself too. He's the wicked. The Lord created him to be this way. He's estranged from the womb. Psalms 58:4, their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. Yeah, they're poison as the poison of a serpent. You know, their way of life, their religions, their democracy, everything they're about, it all leads to death. It's like a poison. You might not feel the direct effects of poison, but when you get bit by a serpent, you'll have some time before your blood coagulate and then you die. So, you know, that's what we're starting to see. This nigga's ways lead to death. Psalms 58, verse 4, they are like the deaf adder, which is a snake that stoppeth for air. They don't want to hear nothing that has to do with righteousness. Now, if we were to discuss how we can rob, steal, and kill, they'll be all ears for that. Yeah, let me set up a meeting. What are you doing tomorrow around 3 o'clock? Yeah, come meet me in the Duck Towers. I'll be up on the 66th floor. We can discuss how we're gonna do this, that, and the third. Psalms 58:5, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Like you trying to charm a snake. You trying to ask for righteous, you know, you playing your flute. You trying to get the snake to come out of the bottle and you know, and dance with the crowd. He ain't charming to that, man. Yo, listen, you know, we're not doing so good. The economy's going bad. Kids are missing, you know. There's people are being shot in the streets. He'll defend the fucking nigga that's killing people in the streets. Okay. Psalms 58 verse 6. Break their teeth, O power, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. This is David, man. Break their damn teeth. Okay. David's not asking for them to hold hands with the so-called white man, man. He's telling them to destroy them. Okay, break their teeth, make them bite the curb. That's David, man. Psalms 58 in verse 7, let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be as cut in pieces. So he wants them to get cut in pieces. He wants their bow to fall upon them. Okay, he's not asking to hold hands with his enemies. Like y'all do, you kumbaya when you with your enemies, man. He want to bring ice, let them melt away, and the Lord's gonna melt them. Okay, we gonna melt them with thermonuclear missiles. Those are the arrows that he's talking about. You understand, black man over there? You looking at me? You hear what's going on over here? Psalms 58:8, as a snail which melteth, let every one of them pass away. Yeah, let them die, man. As a snail that melteth. Let me look at this word snail if it lets me, because my phone's cold, so you ain't gonna be able to, I'm not gonna be able to get into it. It's still loading. Psalms 58:8 again, as a snail which melteth, let every one of them pass away. Let the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. So let them be like a miscarriage. Let them die to death, man. David ain't praying for his enemies. Oh, you know, I hope he's doing all right today. No, I hope he stubbed his toe. I hope he has a horrible day. I hope that he don't get his plan off. You praying for your enemies. This nigga's planning to kill you, and you planning for him to be prosperous. That's only a fool would do something like that. You wouldn't be able to make it in the military in Israel, ancient Israel, man. They'll tell your ass to go home. Nah, you ain't ready. Get up out of here, man. No, I'm ready to fight. Yo, you got flip-flops on. Go get the hell up out of here. Nah, I can fight. Bro, you got LBGTQ clothes on, man. Go home. As a matter of fact, line them up. We gonna stone this motherfucker. This is how you not supposed to be. You trying to make us weak? You wouldn't even make it, man. Psalms 58 and verse 9. Before your pots can fill the thorns, he shall take them away as with the whirlwind, both living and in his wrath. Let's look this up. He gonna kill him, I know, but let's look into that. Let's look into that. Psalm 58 verse 9, KJV. Come on, man. Psalms 58 verse 9. I don't know what's going on here, man. Just stupid ass. This tech is stupid as hell. Just break it down. Plain meaning, big picture. This verse is about sudden divine judgment, and that's coming to Esau Edom. Sudden divine judgment. He tells you in the book of Job 20. Let me grab this real quick. Job 20. Job 20 and I'm thinking 22, but let me get in there first. Job 20 and verse 22. Yeah. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Straits means not like a straight line. It means to be in difficulty, like a straitjacket. Okay, it's hard to get out of. So it's not going to be easy by him trying to implement his new world order. All right, the Lord's going to make it difficult for him to achieve his goals. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Every hand of the wicked. The wicked, in that case, I believe the word there is Amar or something like that. I forgot that word right there. Amel. Laborer, sufferer, rich, wretched one. So those who work for the so-called white man, they're gonna rise up against him. There's gonna be something, you know, just like you see in Iran. You see how they're rising up against their government because their dollar collapsed, because of their jobs. It's the young men that they're upset. They're like, what the hell are you doing, man? Because they're seeing, according to Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, that the windows are darkened. There's no future. So they don't have no future. Shit, why don't they just come take your shit? Why don't they put you in darkness? That's how they feeling through the spirit. So that's uproars of the people, according to 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter. And that's going to happen here. So every hand of the wicked shall be upon him. So he's going to have a lot of protesters out here demanding that he get impeached, saying they don't want to go to war because he's going to institute a draft. He's going to try to get you the fuck up out of here, just like in Ukraine. You're going to have to fight. A lot of y'all signed promissory notes when you went to school. Didn't know you were signing yourself up to and listening to the into that draft. Hence, where it says the borrower is subject to the lender. Now you're a servant, and you're gonna realize all these things when everything comes to pass. It would have been better for you to just serve the Lord, because the Lord ain't gonna have that happen to you. He gonna protect, he gonna guide you. That's why it's better for you to just serve the Lord. But when these times come, then you're gonna feel it. Then you're gonna wish you were out here in the blistering cold serving the Lord. You're gonna wish that in that time. You're gonna wish you did everything you could have done. But you're gonna feel forsaken in that time when your name pop up in a lottery to go to to go to Iran to fight. That's the wicked in Job 20 and 22. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. So when he's about to fill his belly, he's going to be filling his belly with you Israelites by devouring you, by destroying you. That's how he fills his belly. Okay? Ultimately, when he really gonna fill his belly when he gets you to take his chip, his MOTB. That's how he's gonna really fill his belly up. Because once you take that, you're destroyed anyways. And I've been having a lot of I've been thinking about the MOTB and just different scenarios about that, like all the time. And it's gonna get I try to come up with the worst case scenario, what it would look like, man. My mind be going crazy, man. It's gonna be like this movie, I think in Stranger Things, dudes was locked up and you know, they gonna be, long story short, they were feeding you to the beast. They were locking people up and they were getting them fat, and then they were giving them over to those strange beasts that were in that prison. And I can see them doing some shit like that, because if there ain't gonna be any food, they're gonna start chopping you up, making meatloaf out of you, and then giving it to the population, because they're gonna be putting a lot of people to death. So that's the majority of your food right there. They got a food source pulling you to death, especially if they get the beheading, because then that preserves all your organs and everything else. And then they can preserve you and start meat grinding your ass and making those McDonald's hamburgers you love so much. And you're gonna sell out to eat human meat, bug meat, shit like that. They probably gonna run out of that too. So you're gonna sell yourself for naught. Okay, this is the book of Job 20 in verse 24. Oh, Salakia, verse 23 again. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. His wrath is coming in the form of thermonuclear missiles and via Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He's going to come and he's also going to contribute to your destruction. He's also going to put missiles, laser beams from his chariot and help and burn this place up, as well as the other heathen that are going to shoot missiles over here too. Okay, that's the full wrath of the Lord. And shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So while he's eating, you Israelites, getting you to take his MOTB device, he gonna think when he's about to fill his belly. So that means in order to fill it, you're gonna start getting a lot of people to take his chip, right? But he ain't gonna get full is the point, because the wrath of the Lord is gonna come and stop that. So those who ain't gonna be devoured are the elect of Israel. Those are the people who are getting the victory. Those of you who don't get the victory are going to be in the beast's belly. Okay? In the form of you taking that MOTB device that's coming in the near future. Job 20 and 24, he shall flee from the iron weapon. The iron weapon is the thermonuclear destruction. You use iron to make a sword. Okay? That's what the iron weapon is. The iron weapon is a sword, is the sword of the Lord. It tells you in Isaiah the 34th chapter, my sword shall be bathed in heaven, and it shall fall upon Idumea. Idumea is the Greek way of saying Greek. Who are the Greeks? The Greeks are you so-called white people. Okay? And this is modern day Greece, modern day Rome. Okay? Modern day Uz, modern day Nineveh, Syria. He got a sword for you. You've been using your sword according to Genesis 27th chapter. That was your blessing. You went around slaughtering people, killing people, stealing, killing, robbing, destroying. So the Lord's going to use that device against you. Same device you used against those Japanese in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that's going to happen to you. It's going to be way more than two. You're going to have a multitude of missiles coming down upon Idumea. So even if you escape getting the MOTB, you gotta get through the fire too. The only way you can get through that is if the Lord delivers you, redeems you out of that, and that is only going to happen if you were predestinated from the beginning of the earth. If you part of the remnant, the elect. Job 20, everything else over here, you're going to die. You're going to hide in the bunker here. You're going to be destroyed. So all these vain plans that people have about how they're going to, they're planning for some type of apocalypse, that's all vanity. Don't even waste your time, man. You could go store up on gold, you're gonna die. You could go store up on silver, you're gonna die. You could go 100 feet underground, you're gonna die. There's no way you could go. Unless you out of here, then you might have a chance, but these missiles are gonna be shot in other places too. Israel got a Samson option, which means if they get hit, they're gonna unleash a bunch of missiles also. Who do you think they wanna hit? Other Edomites. You can see that, why wouldn't the duck have some missiles pointed at Europe? Well, of course he would. Okay. China, of course he would. Russia, of course he would. These places are not gonna be unharmed. Okay, but they're not going to be utterly destroyed like this place is prophesied to be. Because this is the place. When it came to the jab shot, who pushed that shit? Who created Pfizer and Moderna and J&J? Where did that shit come from? And then China, they went and got the AstraZeneca bullshit. They following after this nigga. So when the MOTB comes out, I wouldn't be surprised if there's different brands that are coming out with that. Because just like the Chinese, they got their own electric vehicles following Musk, who I just read was in the Epstein files, which I'm not surprised. You can't become a trillionaire in this place unless you're a PDF file. That's how they described it. They said, yeah, it's a bunch of PDF files. Yeah, we know it's a bunch of PDF files. That's exactly what Esau is. He's a PDF file. That's the whole Epstein list is, a bunch of PDF files. And I bet you they're a bunch of rich white men. Since you women like that so much, and guess what? If you're willing to do that to a kid, you'll eat a human body too. You'll do anything, man. You're a low-level piece of shit. And that's what the Lord is doing. He tells you in Isaiah 47 that he was going to expose this nigga. And he already exposed him. He already exposed him through the scriptures, but he's going to expose him more and more. And that's probably not even the worst thing. Epstein was getting into transhumanism. So they weren't just raping little girls and boys, man. They were doing some things to those kids, man. Putting all tests, taking their blood, eating them. These people are profane, man. Ritualistic sacrifices. And you want to hold hands with these niggas. That's what's wrong with you Christians. That's why you're going to get burnt up too. Tells you in Proverbs 11, though, hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. You're wicked if you think like that. That's a wicked way to live. You still getting baptized under John's baptism. That's another way of denying the Lord. You ain't baptized in the word of the Lord. You don't even know, you know 2 precepts out of the whole book. Majority of you, not all of you. Majority of the Christianity that you have today is that slave Bible, that slave doctrine. Bunch of fools, man. You read Job and don't know shit. Job 20, verse 24, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. So it's going to hit Esau. The bow of steel is going to strike him through. Okay, that bow, a bow's used to shoot an arrow. There's not going to be a bunch of archers all over the world shooting arrows in the air that's going to fly across the Mediterranean and then over the Atlantic or the Pacific and then hit Babylon the Great. A bunch of arrows. These are talking about thermonuclear missiles. The bow's the silo. The modern day silo is a bow. And the missile inside of that silo is an arrow. And that's what's being shot over here. They didn't have this technology when the prophets were on the scene. So they were describing it with the things that they were seeing in their visions that Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai or Yahweh was putting in their minds was for a time to come. And they were using the things of their time to describe what they were seeing. But now we got a more sure word of prophecy because we understand what an ICBM missile is. We understand what a silo is. We understand what they saw. Job chapter 20. In verse 25, it is drawn and cometh out of the body, which is the silo. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. The glittering sword is another way of describing the thermonuclear missiles. All right, that glittering sword, it's like it's clean. It's sharpened. You know when you sharp something, you can see it's sharp. It's glittering. Okay? It's ready to do what it was created to do. Job 20 in verse 26, all darkness shall be hid in the secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. A fire not blown is talking about the thermonuclear radiation effects of after it explodes. A fire not blown. Typically when you create a fire, you gotta blow into the fire. A fire needs oxygen, it needs a fuel source, it needs fuel, air, and like a source to burn. Okay? And that's how you create a fire. But this is a fire not blown, so it's missing the element. It don't need air. So it's describing the thermonuclear missiles. It's a fire not blown. Okay? It says, fire not blown shall consume him, talking about Esau. He's going to be consumed by this fire. His kingdom is. Not all of them are going to die because they're going to be privy to information that a lot of y'all ain't going to be privy to. That's why they just moved the doomsday clock 85 seconds to midnight. When it hits midnight, supposedly that's done, but they said that's the closest it's ever been. So they know something. It might not be exact. You know, the Lord told you in Matthew the 24th chapter, that day and hour shall no man knows that day and hour. Let me grab that real quick too. So it's kind of vanity at the end of the day, but we can see the signs. It's another token. The Lord wanted to create a doomsday clock for no reason, man. He getting people prepared. Some people getting scared about that, man. And they tell you the same things we're seeing. They're saying the economic status, the way the way people are going to war. You know, they probably are privy to other things like water. People don't know people's water is declining. You know, all over the country. They got water, reserve your water type of things. That's a major issue. There's bushfires in random places all over here in the East Coast. You think we're abundant with water, and it's not like that. That's why we've been having a lot of bushfires. Just like over there in LA. We saw when it looked like half the country was on fire a couple years ago. Those fires just kept going and going. That's showing you this place is meant to be destroyed, man. This place is meant to be destroyed. Matthew 24 in verse 36. I'll start at 35. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. So he's the only one who knows when this place is truly going to be destroyed, because he's the one sending Yahweh Shai over here to destroy it. He's the one that's going to put it in the minds of these kings to destroy each other, to fight each other. It tells you in Revelation, the 7th chapter, he's holding them back the four winds of the earth, which is the thermonuclear destruction, so he can seal his elect. His word needs to go out. Okay, so that's why the word's being pushed as much as it is. More people are waking up. More people are doing more videos. They're being more fervent in the spirit, because that's the most important part. That's what's going to seal the deal, so to speak. Matthew 24 and verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Everyone heard Christianity, Islam, Hinduism. That shit ain't bringing an end, man. That's that's vanity. That's the heathen oppressors using their religion to oppress you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Muslims, oppressors, slave traders. They're going into slavery. Buddha, Chinese, slavery, okay? You're gonna pay for your sins, man. And we're gonna enslave you. You're gonna work for the nation of Israel, okay? And you're gonna believe in the one true God, which is Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. You don't know him yet, but you will get to know him in the near future, okay? Job chapter 20 and verse 26, it shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. A tabernacle is your house. It shall go ill with you if you're here in America when these thermonuclear missiles come. Okay? If you're left here, however you get left here, you're going to be destroyed. All right? You get a bunker, you're going to die. You storing up food and shit, you're going to be destroyed. Job 20, verse 27, the heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. So the heaven is revealing his iniquity. The internet is revealing his iniquity. The prophets, they're revealing his iniquity. We know who the devil is. Okay? And it's not some red pitchfork devil with a tail sitting in hell on a throne. You know, metaphorically, it kind of fit Esau though. He's on the throne right now. He's living in Babylon, which is hell to you Israelites. Hell is a form of affliction. It's inward agitation. It's slavery. Okay? It's oppression. Heaven is when you're ruling. Your laws are being implemented. You're pushing the your laws upon the people. That's your kingdom. When your kingdom's stripped away from you and you got to work for your enemy, that's hell, man. Because he ain't going to show any mercy to you. This is 400 years later, and look how you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are. You still don't even know where the hell you came from. And he wants to keep it that way. Why? Because he don't want you to know that he's the devil that the Bible's speaking about. All right? But anyways, back to Psalms 58. In verse 9, before your pots can fill the thorns, he shall take them away as with a whirlwind, both living and in his wrath. So going back, he's going to destroy you with thermonuclear destruction. The righteous shall rejoice when they seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. So we're going to rejoice when we see his vengeance, which is the Lord's vengeance. We're not fighting. It's the Lord that's going to reveal these things to the righteous. Okay, and He's going to put them under our feet via putting us on the chariot and watching him be destroyed, which is symbolic of washing our feet in his blood. Okay, because we're going to be, when you read Revelation, the 15th chapter, the Lord's will, I can jump over there after this. Psalms 58 and 11, so that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous. Verily, he is a God that judges in the earth. So y'all don't see that judgment now. So you don't believe in the power of Yahweh God Shem Yahushua. But it's reserved for this special day. Scriptures talk about how the Lord is long suffering. He hates iniquity. So imagine somebody who hates iniquity, allowing iniquity to prosper so he can just destroy it from off the face of the earth. That's the vengeance from the Lord. So if he's suffering every single day, watching the wicked do what they do on a day-to-day basis, you got to suffer it too. So that's why we got to endure, because nobody knows the time except for him. But we know the time is near. The time is coming. And he reveals these things because he got his prophets out there. And you can hear what they're talking about, and then you can kind of get a glimpse on what the Lord is thinking on when he's going to do it. You can kind of feel, okay, oh, I see, because they're matching it up with current events, because they're watching. That's what a watchman does. He watches the news. In this time, in ancient times, you know, he would stand up on his watch. He would look around and see where the enemy was coming, which direction. And that's what we're doing today through the Spirit by watching the news, whether it be, you know, you could say this is a psyop. Hey, we know about it. Okay? It tells you in the book of Ecclesiasticus 5 verse 15 that don't be ignorant in a small matter or any matters, roughly paraphrasing. But you're not supposed to be ignorant of anything. Whatever's going on, this nigga's using it in some form or fashion. He's not doing a psyop for no reason. Okay? He's using it to try to distract, okay, from prophecy. All of this news and propaganda is to distract from prophecy. And it's up to the prophets to see through the veil and bring it out by filtering these things through the scriptures. All right? Revelation 15. In verse 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels, having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of God. So the 7 plagues are these different, just like he did in Egypt. You know, the seventh plague ultimately is the thermonuclear destruction in Yahweh Shai and the angels and all of that to bring forth his wrath. That's the wrath. But these other plagues come in the form of famines, disease, civil unrest. All of these things adding up to the point where he just destroys this place. That's the 7 plagues of the Lord. What else am I thinking? The dogs to tear, all of that. That's all the judgments of the Lord. Revelation 15:2. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of God. So that's the elect, I should say, because you're not supposed to make yourself a part of that number. But it's a good sign if you out here prophesying, if you believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. If you have that information inside of you, if you got the name of the Lord, those are the traits that the elect will have in these last days. They would know the true name of the Lord. They wouldn't be calling on their oppressor's God that he made up in his mind. Some white God that loves everybody. He even loves the murderer, the killer. He loves the murderer more than he loves the innocent. Okay? The innocent blood. No, we love the oppressor too. Get the fuck out of here. I don't. That's why I trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. I used to love the so-called white man. I thought he was the greatest man in the world. And it was all a lie. We the greatest. It tells you in the book of Deuteronomy 7:6. Let's grab that real quick. In a couple of places. Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So in the Lord's eyes, you above all people above the face of the earth. Even though you don't feel like that because you are at the bottom. But when you have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you're supposed to be at the bottom. The Lord was at the bottom. He didn't even have a place to stay. So, when you see some homeless people, hey man, that's how the Lord would be if he was here, man. The Lord would be out here, man. He'd be outside. Say he was sleeping up in the mountains, man. And then what did he do? He went and taught the word. So that's what he would be doing if he would be doing the same thing that he did when he was here, because that's the example. Is to teach and let that word have that free course. That word, this is that water, man. That water, when it keeps flowing, it can cut through rock. Okay? And this is the word that breaketh the rock in pieces. It says in I think that Jeremiah. Let me grab that too. So we're special people. The nation of Israel. And I ain't talking about the small hat. Ain't nothing special about him. Nigga runs everything in the world. Nigga runs the NBA, can't play ball for shit, but he get all the money. He getting a piece of, because he's the reaper. He's taking all your shit. That nigga shouldn't have nothing. He don't contribute nothing. He's stealing from you. He's like a parasite. Okay? He needs to be cut off. That's what you do with cancer. You cut it out. And that's where Esau is. He needs to be cut out. We need a physician that can perform this surgery. And that's the Lord. He's going to perform an excellent surgery by cutting this nigga off and burning him with fire. Okay? And we're going to rejoice. That's the good news. That you got a savior. He's going to save you from your enemies, and he's going to put your enemy through fire. And you're going to watch it, and you're going to love it. All right? Woo! I'm already rejoicing. I'm heated up, man. Jeremiah 23. In verse 29. I start up. Jeremiah 23:24. Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him, saith the Lord Yahweh? Do not I fill heaven and earth, saith the Lord Yahweh? I have heard that the prophets said that prophesied lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart, which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal. And that's the same type of situation we're in now. All these prophets, they prophesy in the name of Jesus Christ, so you can forget the name of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. That's what they doing. That's what your pastors are doing. There's a, brothers just did a video on another Christian pastor, black dude, talking about how the Lord's white guy. Clearly he don't read Revelation the first chapter. And people believe that shit. They want to hear that shit. Esau probably paid him off. He took the bag. And he's probably a full-blown Hamite. Israel had beef with Ham, which are the Africans, man. That's how we, Esau like to tell you, oh, yeah, your own people sold you into slavery. Esau's a fucking dumbass. First of all, he's a dog. He can only see black and white. So anybody that has darker skin than him is a fucking nigga to him. So you can't trust anything this dude says. He's a reprobate. He's very a real base man. And I can't wait for the Lord to show him exactly that what we already know. That you're base, you're just disgusting. He's just a low-level demon, man. Can't wait to put hands, feet, elbow, just booting him. Can't wait to whip his ass, man. Kicking him. Just stomping his ass out, man. Just giving him a boot, man. Throwing him. All of that shit. Just to show him that this whole time, the only reason you had any power over us is because of the Lord. The Lord put us down and raised you up. That's why the Lord is a power. You gotta be afraid of a power like that. He could raise up a damn caveman, and that's what he did in this time. That's glorious within itself. This nigga was eating lice out of his wife's head, like those monkeys do. He was living like that, man. Jeremiah 23 and verse 28, the prophet that have a dream, let him tell a dream, and he that have my word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is the chaff to the wheat, saith the Lord? Yeah, what is the chaff to the wheat, saith the Lord, man? The chaff, or y'all gonna be burned up in the wheat of the elect. Chaff's ultimately the wicked, Esau. But y'all following him, y'all are the chaff. And the wheat are the elect of Israel, the remnant. What's the wheat to the chaff, man? You're gonna get burnt up and we're gonna watch you burn. That's the wheat to the chaff. This is the point. Jeremiah 23 and 29, is not my word like as a fire, saith the Lord Yahweh, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces. And that's what it's doing. So this word is like a fire, and it's like water too. Okay? And it's breaking the rock in pieces. Ultimately, Esau's kingdom is cutting through this place. It's consuming this place. This word goes out, and people get the uproars of the people increase, and that's why this place is being exposed for what it is. Okay? So that's burning this place up. Revelation 15 and 3, and they sing the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. That's right. This is as you're being burnt up. This is what we're talking about. Surely there's a God in the earth. We're singing to the Lord for burning up Esau, who gave us the victory. They don't have the MOTB. So when people are talking about getting the MOTB, you should be happy that they're talking about the MOTB. Because that's somebody that wants you to get the victory. Okay? If they're not talking about that, then I don't think they know how to get the victory. Okay? And it tells you in Revelation 15 and 2. But if they're not speaking on the victory, you got to consider who you're listening to. I'm not really sure if it's that. I'm not. It ain't. Come on, man. Y'all think the breakdown is like I was listening to some dude, man. I was just thinking like, damn, bro. Just say you'll take the chip. Like, as simple as that. And stop teaching people, man. You putting that weak ass spirit on people. It tells you in Deuteronomy the 20th chapter, if you're scared, go the fuck home, man. Just go the fuck home. Don't put those weak ass spirits on the nation of Israel. The nation of Israel are mighty people. All right? Nobody needs to hear, oh, I'm not really sure about the MLTB. We'll see when this and that. Nigga, are you gonna put it in your fucking forehead? You dumbass. So someone like that's not gonna get the victory, man. Especially if he's telling people, if he's teaching. If he's teaching that, nah, man, he ain't right. He ain't right, man. And he's causing other people to stumble. And you think the Lord's gonna give you the victory if you teaching like that? Come on, man. Get the hell out of here. Why would he maintain, unless hey, it says the deceived and the deceiver are his. We're gonna know when this chip come out, though. You know, I wouldn't be surprised someone like Nate from IUIC, if he turn around, make y'all take the chip and be like, I ain't taking that shit. You didn't hear my video from back then, man? I told you the name of the Lord. I told you it could have been a chip. You know? You'd be surprised, man. Revelation chapter 15, verse 4. Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? For thou only art holy. For all nations shall come and worship before thee. For thy judgments are made manifest. So he's going to manifest his judgment. He's going to make it evident. I'm the one who destroyed Esau, Edom. And anybody who won't follow him, you're going to die too. And this is my people right here. The nation of Israel. That's why they're singing. That's why they're in the chariots. That's why y'all still down there. All right? This is who I chose. This is my chosen. Ain't they above you right now? Ain't they way above you? You see it with your own eyes. Then you're going to know. We're going to literally be above you people. A platform you can't get to. All right? Revelation chapter 15. Verse number 5. And after that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was open. And the 7 angels came out of the temple, having the 7 plagues, clothed in pure and white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles. And one of the 4 beasts gave unto the 7 angels 7 golden vials full of the wrath of God, who liveth forever and ever. And the temple was filled with smoke from the glory of God and from his power. And no man was able to enter into the temple till the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were fulfilled. So it jumps around. You know. But when them plagues, when he empties out the wrath of God, that's it. It's game over. We'll see how tough Esau is then. Because when we're in the chair, we're gonna be changed as a twinkle in the eye. We ain't gonna be mortal. We're going to be immortal at that point. What the fuck is a mortal man going to do to somebody that's immortal? Nothing. Okay? And it's going to be made manifest when we go around whipping you niggas' asses. And we're going back to our first estate. Being back to the sons of God. Going back to Genesis. Okay? Esau is not a son of God, man. He's a damn heathen. The top heathen down here. Let's jump back a chapter. Let me see. Am I going there? Yeah. Revelation 14. I want to get to the point. Revelation 14 in verse 9. Let's get to the point. It says, doom for worshipers of the beast. Okay, you got to watch out for worshipers of the beast. The beast, you worship the beast because you worship America. You worship the system of Rome. Okay, you worship just the system. You trust in this system to provide for you more than the Lord. So that's what you worship. So that's why you're gonna bow the knee when it comes to taking this MOTB, because you don't believe in the Lord. Okay, you think, shit, if I can live a little bit longer, I'm gonna do that, and it's not gonna. You're not gonna live a little bit longer. You've been deceived. Okay, the Lord is gonna. He's gonna make sure His servants eat. He's gonna take all that shit you got, all you Edomites, all that shit you have. You think you stored it up for yourself? That don't belong. Nothing belongs to you. You don't even belong to you. You belong to Israel. Read 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter, man. You're a beast. You're like you're a possession. You're a toy that the Lord created for the nation of Israel, or ultimately for Him. And because that was in His mind, He created a world for our sakes, and we have had no pleasure here, and we're not supposed to have pleasure here. Our Lord had no pleasure here, well, except when He was King Solomon, but then He went off. What kind of pleasure? He said it was all vanity. He wrote that in the book of Ecclesiastes. So. And He only went through that to show you, man, even if you had all this shit, you were rich as me, you were King Solomon himself. He's telling you you'd be coming to the same conclusion that I had, man. This shit's all vanity, man. If the Lord don't give us a body and we ain't ruling perpetually, it's all vanity, man. It's all vanity. Revelation 14. In verse 9, I'm going to get to the point. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, which is the, here, like I said, I believe they're going to have way more brands than just the Neuralink. But it's all the same shit. Okay, I'm sure China's going to have their own version of it. But it's all the same shit, just rebranded. Same type of tech, man. Which is, you're going to need that in order to buy or sell when you read Revelation 13 and 16, and 17 and 18. Revelation 13, 16 through 18. Lord's will, I can grab that after. Revelation 14 and 10. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God. So the wine of the wrath of God are those 7 plagues. You're going to drink of that. Which is poured out without mixture into the cup of His indignation. Indignation is righteous anger, meaning you deserve what He's about to do to you. These plagues that you're about to drink, you're going to deserve it. Okay, that's righteous anger. So if someone punches you in the face because you punched him in the face, you got what you deserve. Okay, so if He has you die from thermonuclear destruction, imagine how wicked you truly were. And you can't repent, but you're going to repent in that fire as you're burning up. That's what's wrong with the so-called white man. He can't repent. He don't have a conscience. That conscience doesn't. It doesn't. He don't have that. The Lord blocked that from him. He's a narcissist. He likes to think around shit, in order to justify himself. You know what? I'll just create a false god that benefits me. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. That's how a narc thinks, just to avoid the facts of the matter. We're different from that. We understand. We're going to stand on truth. He hates the truth. He lives a lie. Okay? Everything about this nigga he's a liar. He's estranged from the womb. Not something you should be trusted. When you see an Edomite, you should think, danger, danger, stranger, danger. That's what you should think. And teach your kids the same thing. Stranger danger, okay? When you see a damn devil. All right? Whether he got a badge, it don't matter. He's a damn devil until proven otherwise. He's guilty until proven innocent. All right? He's a vagabond, fugitive and a vagabond. Revelation 14 and 10, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So if you take that chip, you're going to be tormented. So don't you think you should know what the chip is? In the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb. Okay? And it's talking about the elect. We're going to be singing while we're going to be chilling, man. It's going to be a good time. We're going to be drinking wine with the Lord. Imagine that. Imagine drinking wine with the Lord, man. Putting our cups in the air while your ass is being destroyed. Woo! sipping. Okay, some real shit without some real wine, man. So the Lord ain't gonna have all that GMO shit that Esau put in his wine. Okay? Nobody wanna listen to that, and that's good. That's good. That's not for you, man. This word ain't for you. All right? And that's a beautiful day. We're gonna call that the good day of the Lord, just like you call the Lord's day when he died Good Friday. You damn devils. You Christians think that was a good day? You're gonna die too. It's gonna be a good day when your ass get burnt up. For telling lies and pushing that on the people. Revelation 14, in verse 11, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. That's right. Whoever receives the mark of his name, which is going into that in the chip, it's technology. It's gonna have 666 right up in there. So you're gonna have his name within you, okay? Which is the 6. You're gonna have his number, the number of his name. Mystery, what's that? Mystery Babylon. When you look that up, it goes back to 666. Not when you look it up. You got to really do some labor and work. Apostle Ramlab went into that because it's written in Greek. You got to find. I don't know where he got the Hebrew for the Greek. I saw the video though, but he went from the Greek to the Hebrew, and then from the Hebrew he did the math, and it came back to 666. You're gonna have that inside the chip. It's gonna be inside of you. When you look at the universal product code, it's a bar number, and the first, middle, and last numbers are 666. So you don't have the name of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. You're going to have the name of 666 Esau Edom inside of you, the devil. So if he wants to put his name into you, it should tell you that the name of the Lord is very important. You got to watch out for people who don't emphasize the importance of the name. It tells you in the book of Psalms 18 and 10, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and are safe. Let's grab that. So the name is very important. If it saves you, it's important. You want to be saved, right? I want to be saved, so I'm going to glorify that name, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10, the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. So the righteous are the elect of Israel. They're going to be running into that strong tower. Okay? The tower's used for defense. It gets you, it's going to protect you from your enemy. Like it protected that woman in Judges the 9th chapter. Let me grab that real quick. She dropped a stone on Abimelech's head. Judges 9 verse 50. Then went Abimelech to Thebez and encamped against Thebez and took it. But there was a strong tower within the city, and thither fled all the men and women and all they of the city, and shut it to them, and got them up to the top of the tower. And Abimelech came unto the tower and fought against it, and went hard unto the door of the tower to burn it with fire. And a certain woman cast a piece of a millstone upon Abimelech's head, and all to break his skull. Then he called hastily unto the young man his armor bearer, and said unto him, draw thy sword and slay me, that men say not of me, a woman slew him. And his young man thrust him through, and he died. So that's the same thing that's going to happen to the so-called white man. Oh, man. We going to run into the tower and drop a stone on your head, man. And that's kind of like what it's like, man. Oh, man, that's hilarious. Abimelech was an Israelite, too. That reminds me of 1 Samuel, the 30th chapter. Saul said the same thing. told his armor bearer, strike me through. So Saul, same type of thing, man. 1 Samuel chapter 30. It's 31. Yes. 1 Samuel 31 in verse 1. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled from before the Philistines and fell down slain in Mount Gilboa. And the Philistines followed hard upon Saul and upon his sons, and the Philistines slew Jonathan and Abinadab and Malchishua, Saul's sons. And the battle went sore against Saul, and the archers hit him, and he was sore wounded of the archers. Then said Saul unto his armor bearer, draw thy sword and thrust me through therewith, lest these uncircumcised come and thrust me through and abuse me. But his armor bearer would not, for he was sore afraid. Therefore Saul took a sword and fell upon it. So there you go. That's Esau falling upon his own sword. Okay. Revelation 14 verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Yahushua. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, right, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors and their works do follow them. So that's talking about the elect of Israel. Blessed are they who die henceforth. And what did he say? Salakia. Let me read that again. Revelation 14 and 13. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, right, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. And that's why it's better to die for righteousness' sake, because you're going to be blessed. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors and their works do follow them. So the Lord's not going to forget your labor of love. If you die henceforth, being involved in the ministry, believing in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, blessed are they that die. He's not going to have you take that chip. The people that are going to be on the ship are those who got the victory. He's going to make sure you get the victory, even if through death. The Lord got the victory through death. The last thing you want to do is take that chip, all right? That's how you get the victory. But I'm going to end it on Isaiah 34. In verse, I'll start at the top, go down. Isaiah 34 and 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them, he have delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as the falling fig from the fig tree. So, you know, that heavens being rolled in the scrolls, talking about the thermonuclear destruction. All right, he's going to be bringing them to slaughter, to the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's what we're waiting for. He told us to wait for that. And that's why you're seeing the duck parking his Abraham Lincoln in the Gulf of the Persians, Gulf of Persia, ready to attack Iran. So he's already in that place. It tells you in the book of Joel 2 and 20, he shall send far off from you the northern army. That's talking about your U.S. military. So they're already in positions. All they need to do is keep filling that up. And that's prophecy being fulfilled. All right? He going to get in the Middle East. Jeremiah 49 and 20 tells you the least of the flock shall draw them out. That's talking about the small hat Israelis drawing out you Americans into a war. Just like they're creating a war over here in your country. They like to destabilize your country and then bring some form of, that's what they do with wars. The whole war, World War I, World War II, is for them to consolidate power. And that's what you're seeing on a lower level. It's not a world war, but it's this war right now in your own country. Okay, so they can consolidate power. And once they get you to take the MOTB, in their minds, they think, okay, we're going to be able to rule forever. That's not the case. The Lord's going to put an end to that. And this is what I'm reading about. Isaiah 34 in verse 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. and upon the people of my curse to judgment. See, he's a curse. He don't seem like a curse because he's prospering, but the Lord is long suffering. It kind of looks cool to be a cursed man. If you're a dead man, right, he makes death look good. You know, he's walking that thin line of being destroyed, but he's proud. Imagine you being on death row, and you just you think you're on vacation or something, man, when you see this dude. He's living a fault in his head, man. He's locked up in a cell. He can't leave the earth. Okay, he got everything in it. He's the main dude in prison, and he's just a bully. He run the joint now, but he about to be taken out. He about to be destroyed for all the wickedness that he brought it upon himself. This is the righteous indignation of the Lord. Except, you know, the nation of Israel, we get punished all the time, every single day. These bills, these forms of affliction, don't know what's going to happen the next day, all of that. That's good, because he's dealing with you as a son. He don't want you to be destroyed. He wants you to not really be comfortable in this place. He wants you to constantly look and seek for him to come save you. But Esau, he don't have him like that. He got him occupied and getting money, you know, doing the things of this world, robbing, stealing, doing all that shit, so he could just utterly destroy him and show the whole world what you ain't supposed to do. That's the point of his judgment. He's cursed to that judgment, to see. He's going to experience the wrath of God in a moment. Isaiah 34 and verse 5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, which is another way of saying Edom, Greek way of saying Edom, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Proverbs 16 and 4 tells you that he was created for the day of evil. Let me grab that. Proverbs 16 and 4, the Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. The wicked's talking about Esau, Edom, according to Malachi 1 and 4, the border of wickedness. Isaiah 34 and 6, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made with fat. It is made fat with fatness, with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys of rams. For the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, have a sacrifice in Basra and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. So that's talking about here in America. Basra is the capital in Edom. Called it the sheepfold, man. So the Lord got a great sacrifice in Basra. And you different nations that are here, you're the rams and the goats that are going to be slaughtered. So America's like a big, huge altar that's going to be destroyed. And I'm going to end it here. Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rachak Wadash, Shalom, Abba Ball, and Kwam Yasharala.